When it comes to drawing faces, a lot of artists ask the same question. Should I focus more on technical part or should I just observe and start drawing? So that is what we are going to learn today. What is the better way to draw? Is it technique or just purely by observation? Truth is, both are important. When you learn a technique, you understand structure, and when you practice that structure again and again, your observation naturally improves. So it's not about technique versus observation, it's actually technique trains your observation. Over the years, many artists have created their own head drawing methods, and each one tries to solve the same problem: how to draw a believable face, but in their own way. So some artists focus on structure, some focus on flow and anatomy. So let's quickly go through a few of the most famous ones: Loomis, Riley, Asaro, Bridgman, Bamis. The first one is Loomis method. The Loomis method is all about construction. The head is simplified into a circle with sides cut off and guidelines added for proportions. This method helps you understand where the eyes go, where the jaw sits, and how the head turns in space. That's why this method is usually the first method artists learn. It teaches you how to build a head from imagination. Riley method. So, Riley method focuses on rhythm and flow. Instead of thinking in boxes or planes, you use flowy lines that connects features of the face. These rhythm lines help the face feel natural, balanced, and alive. This method is especially useful for portraits and expressive faces. The next one is Asaro method. The Asaro head breaks the face into flat planes. You will see the drawing is more structural. Each plane represents how light hits the face. This method is amazing for understanding the light and shadow, form, and depth. If your drawing looks flat, you can study this method and it will completely change how you shade. Then there is Bridgman method. So Bridgman's approach is much more structural and powerful. He breaks the head into bold, blocky forms and overlapping shapes. This helps you understand the strength of the skull and jaw and neck. You'll see the Bridgman method is more masculine. The next one is Bamis method. Bamis goes even deeper. Bamis method is very detailed and it focuses on real anatomy, bones, muscle, and how everything connects. This is less about style and more about understanding how the head actually works. It's complex but incredibly useful for realism and long term mastery if you want to achieve. Now, here is the interesting part. If all these artists were given the same face to draw, each one would construct it differently because each method focuses on a different truth of the human head. So now let's look at how each of them would imagine the same face using their own method. Loomis, structure and proportion. Asaro, planes and light. Riley, rhythm and flow. Bridgman, power and structure. Bamis, anatomy and mechanics. Now let's move to the most important part of drawing: observation. Before you even start your drawing, you first see, you look at the reference, you study it, and you imagine how it's going to look on paper. You decide, what do I want to focus on? What do I want to highlight? What is the main feeling of this face? And there are different ways to observe a face. I will go through some of the observation techniques very quickly. First one is simple shapes. The first way to observe is by reducing everything into simple shapes. You ignore the details and focus only on the big forms: the head, the jaw, the neck. At this stage, you are not thinking about eyes or lips, you are just building the simple structure. The second one is frame, measure, empty space. The second way is by observing the whole frame. Instead of just focusing on the subject, you look at the whole frame. You look at the empty space around it. You measure distance. How far are the eyes from the nose? How wide is the head compared to the neck? Where does everything sits inside the face? This helps you place features accurately and avoid proportion mistakes. The next one is start with the nose. The nose sits in the center of the face, so it becomes, a perfect measuring point. From there, you can judge the distance to the eyes, the mouth, and the chin. It helps you build the rest of the face correctly. The next one is observe values, light and shadow. Instead of thinking in lines, you look at light and shadow. Where is the light hitting? areas are darker, which planes are catching light. This helps you create depth and form. Another powerful way to observe is through loose drawing. You draw without pressure. You let your hand move freely and allow the lines to guide you, and you are allowed to make mistakes. This helps you understand the overall gesture and energy of the face. Your lines are overlapping and scribbly, so even if you make some mistake, you can correct it right away. And finally, observe the flow. Look at how your eye moves across the face. Faces are not stiff, they flow. When you understand that flow, your drawings start to feel alive. So personally, I don't like sticking to just one method. I decide my approach based on the face, the perspective, the expression, the lighting, or any unique features I want to highlight in the face. Sometimes I use proper construction technique, and sometimes I purely rely on observation. So for me, both works. I mean, it depends what I'm using, like what is required at the moment. Now let me show you how I actually start drawing. Let's first observe the reference. The first thing I notice is the overall shape, the head, the neck, and the posture of the body. Then I look at the shadow, where the light is falling and how much area the shadows are covering. At this point, I'm not even thinking about details. I'm just trying to understand the big picture. So this is the first one. Let's start with big shapes. I begin with the basic structure. I draw a vertical line in the center of the face and a horizontal line to place the eye, nose, and lip. Rough placement of features. Now I start defining the outer shapes, the hair, the face structure, and even the folds in the clothing, all following the same shape. At this stage, I am using this blending tool to add soft shadows. It already has graphite on it. Once I know where the shadows are, I go in with HB pencil to darken those areas slightly. After that, I blend the hatching. Now I'm using the darker pencil to push the shadows areas. Finally, I use 10B pencil to add strong accents. You always go from light to dark, big shapes to small details. Thank you for watching.